Welcome back, crewmates. Today, I have a special guest, which is my first mate.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
And today we're going to go through the red cards that are coming out in the Romance Dawn booster set coming out in America around December, I think, so we still got 4 months. So we're going to go through them today. But before we start with the first card, go ahead and show some support by clicking that subscribe button so that you can see all of our new videos that we got coming out.
Yep.
Moving into it, though, we're going to get right into the leader cards. So first up, we have the boy Zoro. He looking like he has that Chad face on. So what do you think about the art?
I like it. It looks like the Luffy starter card, you know, it's very basic. I like it. It has the compass in the back.
Yeah, using the anime-esque art for a little crop in. But we also have the old art, which is available, which is the nice manga art, which is a close-up of the face shot.
I think I like the manga art better.
I'm kind of partial to the art style of the manga art, but at the same time, I like the full body. So both are interchangeable to me. We'll go into the stats of the leader card. So he's normal, plain red leader, 5k, 5 life, and Dawn ×1. So by putting a Dawn under him, during your turn, all your characters will gain 1,000 power. So if you give him 1,000 power, everyone gains 1,000 power.
Yeah, it's pretty basic, you know. But I think it's a good skill, even though it's, you know.
Yeah. I think the strength of this skill comes from the fact of how many times you can use it during your game. There's no real setup required. You don't need a specific amount of people on board, any type of character. You can just slap one under him every turn and he'll just give 1,000. So by giving him one of your Dawn, you're giving everyone a Dawn. So it's pretty efficient.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, that makes sense when you put it like that.
And when you're playing 3Ks, they become 4Ks. So you only need one under them for them to swing at leader. And when you're dealing with your 4Ks, they actually can just hit. So you can actually build this leader by playing smaller creatures that you might not relatively be able to use in a different deck without putting more effort into using them, is what I think about it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, actually. I don't know, I didn't really think about it like that. I guess when you actually think about it a bit more, the plus 1,000 is actually pretty good. Because, I don't know, when you're playing the starter decks, which we've been playing a little bit, like, you're like, oh, you know, if you put a Dawn under the other Zoro in the starter deck, he just gains that 1,000, and you're just like, okay, yeah, that's pretty basic. So I guess that's kind of just what I was referring it to. But I guess when it is all your characters, it is a bit better. I don't know, that's just the way I thought about it.
Yeah, and
right?
Going back to how many times you can use this, like, this is a skill you probably use pretty much every single turn. And thinking back to, we've been practicing with the starter deck leaders, and let's take Kaido, for example, from the starter deck. I only use that skill maybe once a game, maybe twice, depending on the ramp. This Zoro,
yeah.
you would get value out of every single turn, because there's no reason not to put a Dawn under it.
Okay, now that you put it like that, it's
like
way more
how
resourceful.
many times are you going to use that leader skill, because it's always available to you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're using this leader every single turn, you're getting that 1,000 value every single turn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because even if you only have one guy, right, you give him the Dawn, and then he gives 1,000, so you're still getting 2,000 for one Dawn. So either way, so he's pretty efficient for what he is. So I wouldn't sleep on Zoro. Now, the next leader being Law. Well, we'll go with the basic anime art, and then he also has a close-up, which looks pretty nice. I like the close-up.
Yeah.
But this is the controversial leader. So he is red and green, so you can play your red and your green cards in your deck.
Yeah.
And because he's a dual leader, he has 4 life. So at the cost of a bigger card pool, you lose a resource. All of the dual leaders that we know of are like that.
Okay.
Now, the thing that makes him controversial is he has so much potential, but he needs so much setup. So let me move to this art, because I think it's easier to read. So his activate, like, he almost has like a paragraph. So once per turn, you pay 2, so this is the tap 2. And then if you have a full board, which is 5 characters, you return 1 character to the owner's hand. Then you play 1 other character, costs 5 or less, that is a different color than the one you returned to your hand. So you read that, and it sounds complicated. But you also go, that sounds broken. Because he lets you bounce any character no matter the cost, and then play a 5k. Or a 5 cost or less. For the cost of 2 to use his skill. So the first thing that comes to mind is, if you say you have a 1-drop out, even if you play it that turn, so you pay 1 for a 1-drop, then you pay 2 for his skill, you bounce the 1-drop back, and you play a 5k.
Oh, so you're getting value out of the
You
Dawn.
played a 5k for 3 cost.
Yeah. You're getting complete value out of the Dawn.
Now, if you, like, there's any number of things you could do with that. Especially if the 1-drop you play has an on-play effect. We know later on there's a Nami that has a fantastic on-play effect, so if you get value off the Nami and then bounce her to your hand and then play a green card, there's a lot of potential here. And there's no restriction on this card. It just says a 5 cost or less. So there's no trait you need to worry about. There's no power you need to worry about. You just, since he's red and green, if you bounce a red, you play a green. And if you bounce a green, you play a red.
That's kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of Vanguard with the mermaids when you would bounce with them.
Early Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that, actually. What do you think?
Now, another thing is because of the mechanics of the game, once per turns can happen whenever you want, right? So you could, let's say you're setting up, you have your board, because you need a full board of 5. So this is a setup leader. And let's say, even you could just play a rush card because you're playing red. So let's say you play a rush card, and you swing with the rush card, right? Then you can play his skill after he swings, pay 2, bounce the rush card back to your hand, and then just play another card. And if that card happens to have rush, which I'm not sure if, both colors have rush readily available, you could technically attack with that card again.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, you could do some battle phase shenanigans with this as well, but it just seems like a really good leader that's only going to get better the more green and red cards come out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And if you find out how to use this leader, I don't think that 4 life is going to be the be-all, end-all. Be like, oh, I don't want to play this leader. I only got 4 life. Well,
yeah.
If you plus 1,000,000...
I guess that's what I was kind of saying about Zoro, that his effect was kind of basic compared to this, because I feel like you have more resource and more things that you can do with the wall card.
This is super setup. You build your deck for this.
Yeah.
But like I said with the Zoro, you're going to use that Zoro every single opportunity.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Every single time you can, you're going to use that Zoro. You can't use this skill until probably like your 4th or 5th turn, because you need a full board.
Yeah, you need the whole setup.
And if your opponent is interacting with you at the same time, trying to clear your board, it makes it that much harder to resolve his skill. That's one of the things I think about. Because you can't even use his skill unless you have a full board of 5 guys. So that takes time.
Yeah.
And not only does it take time, your opponent has to not kill anything.
Yeah, that too. Well, also, if you're fighting, like, the Kaido...
Yeah, if you're fighting purple.
Yeah, if you're fighting purple and it's ramping and you have to wait till your 5th turn, technically, and they've
to start, like, actually using your deck, like, it can be pretty rough.
Yeah.
But if you're playing, like, 1 and 2 drops every turn, you could probably fill up your board by turn 3, but that's still... You also still need to set up.
Yeah.
So you need to have your full board, and you need to have the cards in your hand that you actually want to swap with. So it's a lot of potential, but it takes a lot of setup. But if you figure out how to get that consistency and the speed of setup, I think this leader has something going for it.
Yeah, it has potential.
I mean, we've spent a lot of time on this leader, but this leader, like, requires a lot of time because there's so many things you could do with it.
But see, that's what I like about it, is that it has a lot more, how do you say,
possibilities?
Yeah, possibilities. There you go. Yeah. Sorry, I got lost.
So you could do a whole video just on this leader, especially if you already like have a good grasp of the cards in the set. You could just go through every single like combination of cards that you could possibly play off this card. But before we just make a whole video, we're gonna move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Next up is the Loof. Now this Loof is also a red-green leader. His art's, just the basic anime art. It's not bad, but it's not like, some of the other art we've seen in the set.
Yeah.
It is acceptable. So he's a dual leader, so he has 4 life, just like the other dual leaders. His main is once per turn pay 4, which is pretty expensive if you're going to use that like every turn, to switch one of your characters with the Supernova or Straw Hat type trait with a cost of 5 or less to active. And then you also give that character plus 1,000.
So it's kind of like Law skill, but you're getting kind of the plus 1,000, right?
Yeah, Law and Luffy. So Luffy is going to just stand the same guy.
Yeah.
And then Law is going to swap it, so it's technically like a stand. But with Law, you're going to need to have a rusher to swing when you swap. And then Luffy is just going to make the same guy swing. But, but the major difference is Law had no restrictions. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
But Luffy says specifically a Supernova or Straw Hat. So if you build this Luffy deck, you need to build a Supernova Straw Hat like centric deck. Which, I mean, there's plenty of those cards. But the fact that Law just doesn't have any of that text on there means anything is going in that deck as long as you think it's going to work.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because the red is Straw Hats and green is Supernova, so, I mean, it makes sense, but there are, like, a few cards that aren't, have Supernova underneath it, or, otherwise.
I like this Luffy just because it takes less setup than the Law, so, like, the Luffy you just need to draw, like, the one guy that you want to restand. Whereas Law, you need like the one drop or the small drop, and then you need the big drop, and they need to be opposite colors, so everything gets crazy. But this Luffy just says, hey, you got a guy, pay 4, restand it, if it meets the criteria.
Yeah.
So
the Law was 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Law was pay 2.
2. Yeah. So it's a little bit cheaper.
It's a little bit cheaper because you need to set up for it. And this is a little bit more expensive because it's just like one guy you need to draw. One good guy. It's limited to 5 cost or less because we don't want to get crazy, I guess. But as soon as you find a good 5 cost that you want to restand, I think this has potential, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be good, though, because you are giving up a resource with the 4 life.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and look at the alternate art.
This card does not have an alternate art. It does not have a close-up. At least we don't think so. It's not on the website yet, at least. But it doesn't have the close-up that we know of.
Oh, it doesn't?
Oh, wait, no, it's over here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay. I was looking at Usopp's nose in the corner there. He was pulling my eyes in.
I was looking at that. I was like, oh, I guess that isn't the one.
Yeah, I guess not. I guess not. Oh. That's a different card.
I thought it was. I was like, oh.
That's a different Luffy.
I was like, oh, they have 2 Luffy leaders?
But I do like this art.
Yeah, I do. I preferably like the close-ups of their faces. I especially like the Laws, though. I really like
the Law close-up's nice.
Yeah, the Law close-up is very nice. But I think I like the manga art.
But yeah, restanding a 5 cost, depending on the card you're restanding, definitely potential. If we can find a card that like has a once per turn effect on attack, it gets better, right?
So like rarity-wise, are the manga art ones going to be a different rarity than the
I think they all count as a alt art, and that has like a special slot within a box, I think. So I don't know the pull ratios completely yet, and they might change for the English release.
Okay.
But yeah, that takes care of all the leaders, I think, for red, which was Zoro, Law, and Luffy. So moving on to the character cards, we're going to start up with Usopp. Talking about the art, it's just it's a clip from the anime. So it's not terrible, not great. But as long as this Usopp does pretty much anything, it's better than the one from the starter deck. We have ample testing with the Straw Hat starter deck, and that Usopp is awful.
Oh my goodness. I just thought, I was like, how could they do that to Usopp?
How could they do that to my boy?
I know, that's what I was thinking. How could they do that to Usopp?
Yeah, to those not familiar with the Usopp from the starter deck, he's a trigger, and he's still bad. So he only has 2k power. Like, this Usopp already has more power than that Usopp, so it's probably better.
It has a better effect, too. The other effect never
that star. I don't know what was going on with that starter deck Usopp. But this Usopp is a 2 cost 3k. That stat line is pretty fine. Like, for 2 costs, yeah. But if you look in the corner, his counter is actually 2,000.
Which is really good.
Which not every character has. And sometimes characters don't even have guards. So it's like when you have 2,000, even if you don't play this card, you might just put it in your deck just to guard with it. But the effect, you slap a Dawn under him. It says during your turn, once per turn, you don't want to get crazy, I guess. Draw 1 card when your opponent activates an event. So
that's pretty good. It's not too bad.
So when you're on the offensive, so this is during your turn, because if it was during your opponent's turn, it'd probably be crazy.
Yeah.
So when your opponent counters with an event, which happens a lot anyway, you get to draw a card. So you probably don't throw this guy out there because he's 2K. But if you know you're going to go on the offensive, and you see your opponent has Dawn up, you can assume that they probably have an event ready and they're setting up for it. So I'd say before you even swing, you pay the 2, play the Usopp, slap 1 Dawn on him. Obviously, if you're playing the Luffy from the start deck, he just lets you pay for that for free. So you pay 2 for the Usopp, you play him, and then you use the Luffy, put the used Dawn under him, and his effect is active. So when you're prepping for your opponent to actually hit you with an event, you get to draw a card off of it.
I mean, drawing a card is always good. It's okay because of, they have to activate an event, but drawing a card is good.
Yeah, it's hey, if they want to defend, you're going to get something off of it, right?
Yeah. I think it's, it's pretty good.
I think that 2,000 counter really makes the card.
Yeah,
because
that too.
Even if he's in your hand, you're like, oh, I don't want to use him. You're like, he's good in my hand.
Yeah.
And it says he's a rare. So that's pretty good. Moving on to Uta. The art's cute. We don't know much about her because she's coming out in the movie later in the year. But she is a... do you have anything to say about the art?
Yeah, she looks cute.
With her little headphone things.
Yeah, and I like her little hair over her eyes.
Yeah, like...
kind of a Sanji.
Like swoop hair pigtails or something.
Yeah.
She got like Daft Punk headphones.
I like her stars.
First thing I noticed about her, she does not have guard.
Yeah.
So you probably don't want to play a lot of this card unless she's really good. She has 4 cost, 4K. I don't know how I feel about that. That's a lot. That's like 4 for 4K is not a lot of power.
Yeah.
On a 4K. Because I'm comparing it to other cards which are like 3 cost 5Ks.
Yeah.
So she's definitely not like an attacker. She says on play you can return 1 red character card other than Uta with a cost 3 or less from your trash to your hand. So that means Uta is a salvage card.
She reminds me a little bit of Midoriya.
Yeah, she's the exact same as Moria, Gecko Moria, except I think he was like a little bit higher. I think he's like a 5K, and he also gets like a 4 cost less.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So she's kind of like a budget version of Moria. And
yeah.
Let's be honest, no one wants to be a budget version of Moria. But, of course, that's a blue card, and this is a red card. So I'm not sure what you would super want to recycle in red yet to make this worth 4. One thing of note that I think of is, at least if you're playing Zoro, she's a 5K, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to keep that in mind. Like, anything you play in Zoro is technically 1,000 more than what's printed.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever played more than, like, 2 of her. If I play her at all. Like,
yeah, I still feel the same with you. 4 seems like a little...
Just seems low.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about Uta?
She's cute. She seems pretty good too. I don't, like you said, if I were to play her, it'd probably be like 2 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because she has no guard, you know?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Even if she had guard, like that effect, I probably wouldn't play like a full playset.
Yeah. Alright, let's move on to the next one.
Oh, we can't forget, she has the very important film trade that does nothing yet. We have no idea. It was like Usopp has, the Strike Crew, and we know that's broken, but what does film do yet?
I don't know.
We know the Star Deck's coming out. Maybe it'll do something in there. Next we have Otama.
She's so cute.
That art is on point.
She's so cute.
You got the little dango dumpling cheeks. But that's A+ / like almost S tier art probably.
Yeah.
I think like this is the first card so far that has like the nice special art that doesn't just have like the crop in.
It's interesting too because she's a 0.
Yeah. She's like the first 0 power card in the game. I think she's the only one. I think even I think she's the only one right now that has 0 power.
She's the only one I've seen.
So Otama is a 1-drop with no power. but she has that 2K guard.
Yeah,
You see that 2K card in the corner? I mean, she's pretty good. I think no matter what her effect is, I think if you see the 2K card, you're like, maybe this goes in my deck. She says, on play, one of your opponent's characters gets neg 2,000 power during the turn.
That's interesting. Instead of, because everything I've seen from the starter decks, because we've been playing a lot of the starter decks, everything I've seen has just been gaining. Yeah. This is the first card I've seen that you neg.
Yeah, this like interacts with the opponent's field, so maybe you can clear things easier.
Yeah.
So, first things first, you can put it in the log deck, because she's a 1-drop.
Yeah.
Because you want good 1-drops, and she's an on-play, so you can like play her for 1, neg something 2,000, bounce her back, play a 5-drop. But one of the things off the top of my head that interacts with 2,000 power is Gum Gum Jet Pistol.
Oh,
Gum Gum Jet Pistol from the starter deck is 4 cost that kills anything with 6k or less. So if you play Otama for 1 and then Gum Gum Jet Pistol for 4, for 5 cost you can kill anything that has 8k or less.
I actually think she's pretty good because of the plus 2k guard.
Yeah, she's a 1-drop plus 2k guard. Like I would say this is probably like a 3 or 4 of almost. Like
yeah, she is actually pretty good. She has, because you know some cards you're like, okay, it has 1 good thing. She actually has 2 good things.
Yeah, she's cheap.
Yeah.
She has a decent effect, and she's good in hand.
Yeah, exactly. Well, 3.
And she's cute as hell.
Yeah, 4.
Even the little animals in the back, they're like, yeah. Anything else about Otama?
She's cute and probably gonna play, like you said, like at least.
Yeah, I think no matter what red deck you're playing, you probably play her.
Yeah.
And she just interacts with Jet Pistol really good, and Jet Pistol's really good.
All right.
What do we got next? We got Caribou's ugly ass. The art is not bad because it almost looks like it's from the anime, but it's clearly not, just by the shading.
Like, the poor mermaids.
Yeah, the poor mermaids. Yeah, you look at it; it's definitely not the crop out of the anime episode. So they made it, but it also just looks like it's from the anime episode where he did this. That's interesting.
His effect isn't bad.
So Caribou over here is a 3 cost with 4k. 3 cost 4k. I guess that's normalish stat lines. It's not a 4k, which is a 4-drop 4k, which is weird.
Yeah.
He has a 1k counter and it says on KO one of the opponent's characters with 4,000 power or less. So he needs to be killed to get a pop effect off.
Yeah.
That seems like really slow.
Yeah.
Because like you play him, he doesn't have rush or anything, so he's gonna sit inactive, and you know your opponent just needs to read the card. They're not gonna kill it while it's active because of that effect.
Who else KOs in the starter deck?
Who's who KOs?
Yeah, and he's a lot faster.
Yeah, like there's cards that just kill on sight.
Yeah, exactly. Probably, yeah. And that's probably more of what you would want to play, the red version of that,
yeah,
right?
It's like even if you, well, I mean, red's only pop that I know of, I think, is Jet Pistol.
Okay, so that's.
But that card's infinitely better than this. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, the KO part, yeah.
I guess we go into potential for this skill, because it does have potential, just not that I know. If a leader or card comes out who has a cost to kill one of your own guys to do the skill, that's when you would play this card.
Yeah.
Because then you would pay 3 to play him.
I can see that.
You would kill him for your effect, and then he would immediately go off. So he would gain the speed that he's lacking on the card.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, he's potential combo card. By himself, not good, but with something else, maybe.
Interesting, because the red deck, when we were playing the starter decks, it just seemed the very simple, just rush, like just...
Oh, yeah, I mean, the starter deck is beat stick.
Yeah, but it's really interesting how they're throwing these cards in so you can combo and do different things with red than just the one thing, right? With the dual starters and everything.
Oh, and he's a supernova, so that's important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a supernova.
Yeah, he's a supernova. He was a supernova after the time skip.
Oh, okay.
They had to replace all the guys. Oh, this is Otama. Otama's just one offender. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Cavendish, the beautiful boy himself.
The art is very nice.
The art's nice. I mean, Cavendish, not nice, but the art is nice.
Cavendish, I could take or leave it, but
Yeah,
the art.
we don't worry
is
about Cabbage Boy.
Cabbage.
So let's see. He's a supernova too. That's important.
Yes.
He's also a beautiful pirate. So for 4 cost 5k, that's a better stat line than Uto we were talking about.
Mhm.
Who's a 4/4. Still a little bit pricey, but at least he can swing, right?
Yeah.
Because on play, return one of your life to your hand, and this character gains rush. Now,
Interesting.
having another rush card is good, but we know there's a lot of rush cards actually in the first set. So actually hitting yourself for a life to gain rush probably isn't worth it.
Yeah, I agree. It is a very interesting effect, though, right? That's definitely interesting.
I mean, if you could play it to like gain early card advantage,
Mm-hmm.
because you can play it, get a life which goes to your hand, and then swing.
But that's probably the only time I would play it.
Yeah, you might only want to play it like once.
Yeah,
Like, you play
at the
it more,
beginning.
you play it more than once, you're probably killing yourself. And you're playing a dual leader, forget it. You can't even play this card in your deck. You're just gonna die. So I might have to pass on Cavendish. I don't know. It seems too risky.
I mean, it, like, if you had Zoro, right, as your leader.
Then he's a 6k.
Yeah, then he's a 6k with rush.
Yeah, but then like I said, there's other rushers that also would just gain 1,000 and have rush.
Isn't the 5-drop Luffy, or is his
The 5-drop Luffy? Yeah, the 5-drop Luffy in the starter deck is a 6k.
Okay.
So you'd be a 7k with a rush in the Zoro deck.
Yeah. So that would just be better than losing a life, I feel.
Yeah, you might have to pass on Cavendish.
Yeah.
I mean, if you I guess if you just wanted to be that guy and be like, no, my whole deck is nothing but rushers, you probably need to play Cavendish. You don't want to be that guy. But unless you need that many rushers, I don't think you play them. Moving on to the next page. We have Carrot.
Oh, Carrot is so cute.
Carrot is adorable.
Carrot is so cute. I like her little basket of carrots.
The art on this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's very adorable. I love it.
So, seeing that she's the trigger, I know that every single color has one of these. It is a 2-drop 3k vanilla that's a trigger, so when you hit it, you get to play it for free.
I mean, if you got off the trigger, I don't know, because she does have the blocker.
Yeah,
but
she does have guard.
Yeah, she does.
So
have
at least
guard.
playing like 4 of her to get her and your trigger isn't terrible.
But Usopp was the Usopp we just looked at. That was a 2-drop too, right?
Yeah.
With the 3k, and he had the 2.
He is 2 card. Yeah, but he wasn't a trigger.
Yeah,
you have to value the trigger.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, because that's the comparable, right? Like the Usopp kind of.
I mean, you can compare the stat line to it.
Yeah,
but
the stat line.
The potential for her to just come out of your life and be an attacker on the next turn, you can't compare that.
Yeah, that's true.
And then keep in mind, if you're playing Zoro, this is a 4K. Like, everything needs to be reevaluated if you're playing Zoro.
Zoro. Yeah, that would be a trigger 4K. That wouldn't be bad.
Okay.
With Zoro, I think it would be a lot better.
Because, like,
Zoro.
what is your competition for trigger guys in red? Because we know that Usopp is terrible, the trigger Usopp.
Yeah.
I think that's the only other trigger guy.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that...
the only other guy you can play from the damage.
Yeah.
Is that Usopp. And you're not playing that Usopp.
No, you're not.
So if you want to play a trigger guy, I think Carrot is what you play. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because she's just way better.
She's just statically better than Usopp, and she's a vanilla. What did they do to my boy?
I know, I felt so bad. I'm glad they made the other Usopp better, though.
The difference between Carrot and the other ones, because like I said, every single color, I believe, has this vanilla trigger, is that the other colors have a better effect trigger guy.
Oh, okay.
So like in purple you had Who's Who.
Yeah.
Why would you play a vanilla over that unless you just wanted to play more trigger guys?
Yeah.
Green has Killer.
Yeah,
Who's
Killer.
good.
Who's go-to?
And then blue has Kuma, the one that lets you check top 3.
Yeah.
So unless you wanted to play an extra set of trigger characters, you wouldn't play the vanilla. But in red, Carrot is just statically better than Usopp in the starter deck.
Yeah, so you would definitely just switch them out.
I think Carrot has a place if you want to play the trigger guy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. Yeah.
We actually talked a bit for a character with no effect. But anything else you want to say about Carrot?
She's cute, and I think we should move on to the next one.
Alright, moving up next we have Komachio. So Komachio is the lion dog
Yeah.
that Tama? Her name's Tama, right? Tama? I forgot her name.
Yeah, the dumpling girl.
Yeah, so she befriended him with her Devil Fruit, but other than that, you know, he's a 1-drop 3K vanilla, so we can't really say much about it other than the art. I like the art.
I like the art too. I think the art's very nice.
Tama on the head's very cute.
I think I would play Carrot over this one.
Oh no, you can't compare the two because
Yeah.
Carrot's the trigger. I'm not comparing the two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this isn't a trigger or anything. You know? There's pretty much no reason you play a 1-drop 3K vanilla. It's just it has nice art. They actually put effort into the art, so we don't
Yeah.
talk about it. Yeah, we'll just move on after that.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to.
Next up is the boy Gordon. Now nobody knows who Gordon is because he's from the movie coming out.
Huh. Yeah, I was about to ask
Yeah,
you.
you're like, who's
that.
Gordon?
It says film underneath it, so.
He's got the coveted film trait.
Yeah.
All right, what do you think about Gordon's art? Looking like Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. He looks cool though.
I like his face. He's just like, I wonder if my card's good.
He looks really cool though. He does.
So 2-drop 3K. It's a fine stat. And it's
Yeah.
a 2-drop. But if you look in the corner, 2K guard.
I know, that's really good.
Gordon's pretty. Well, I mean, he looks thick. He's got noodle arms, but he looks like a fridge. So Gordon says, on play, place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of your deck and draw a card. He is a filter, if I've ever seen one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, potential for filter. Law.
Yeah.
Law has potential for filter. He's low costed at 2. You can play him down, filter to try and get your setup combo,
Yeah.
and then you can bounce him to your hand, play your green card, and then play him again.
Yeah.
Get another filter. I think that's good.
And like you said, he draws you a card. That's really good.
Yeah, you take a card you don't want right away, maybe get a card you do want right away.
Yeah.
And go back to our boy Zoro. He's a 4K in Zoro.
I would definitely, like you said, like Law's the first thing that comes to mind when playing this.
When you're playing when you're playing Law, you probably just want every single draw card you can get.
Yeah.
And then you want your combo cards that you want to swap. That's probably the easiest way to think about that later. Anything else on Gordon?
Alright. No.
I don't think so, right?
No. I think we pretty much covered it.
Now, I haven't talked much about these traits because I don't think they've really come up that much.
You know, I didn't even notice those until you just mentioned
Yeah,
them.
there's several of these traits next to the attack power stat, but I think only like 1 card mentions them in base set. So, yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna do anything with them.
Possibly. Next up, we have another vanilla, who is Sai from Dressrosa. He's basic 2K, 4K. The art's pretty good though. It's not basic like anime art, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. I definitely
And
like
then
it.
you see a baby Fi in the back. But yeah, he's a vanilla, but I like that they took time for the art on the vanillas.
Yeah, all the art on these cards look very nice, and I love that they're full art too. Oh, well, most of
mostly.
those. Sorry, most
They
of
still have
them
a
are
border.
full art. I'm sorry.
They have pretty nice size pictures.
Yeah.
But you're probably not playing a vanilla in anything, but because they gave them nice art, I mean, they're good for collecting. Because then, you don't have an effect to take up the picture. We move on to the Sanji.
Sanji.
Now, I ended up finding out from some people opening packs that this has a full art, ult art, which isn't on the site at the moment, but it's looking nice. As for this art, it's anime art.
I want that card so bad. The full art.
Now, Sanji here is a 2-drop 3K, which is a fine stat line.
Yeah.
Normal. But, look in that corner. He's got 2,000 guard. That's a contender. Activate main. Once per turn. You may add a card from your life area to your hand, so like Cabbage.
Yeah.
So you kill yourself, and he'll gain 2K for the turn, and then give hit this character specifically, up to 2 rested dons. So you paid 2 for him, so you'd have 2 rested. But he doesn't have rush, so you have to set up. So after his effect resolves, he'd be a 7K. So you're negging yourself a life to have a 7K 2-drop. It's not bad.
But you're also if you were playing a 4 leader.
Oh yeah, if you're playing the dual leader with 4 life, that's costly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, well, remember he's an 8K in Zoro.
Yeah.
8K on a 2-drop is pretty big.
Could you imagine playing Cavendish and this and just negging?
Well, that's just a meme deck, right? You're
Yeah,
just like, hey,
that's
guess
just
what?
a meme deck, by the
I killed myself.
So...
What else did I want to say? Oh, that would be a problem with the dual leader, but the Loof, the green-red Loof, can restand this.
Oh, okay.
So if you make him a 7K for 1 life, you swing twice for 7 for a 2-drop. You pay 4 for the Luffy, but that's not the worst thing to restand for 4, right? A 7.
Yeah.
And then he's obviously going to immediately die because he's 3K on the opponent's turn. But you only paid 2 for him. Anything else about Sanji?
Nope, I think we're all good to go on to Gym Boy, it seems like.
We have a Gym Boy next. Here's my boy Gym Boy.
Oh, he looks...
Yeah, anime art.
Yeah.
It's anime art, it's fine. This is like battle ready pose.
Yeah.
Sanji in the anime art looked like he was ready for the cocktail party. Now, Gym Boy here is a 4-drop 5K. Now, I don't know how I feel about a 4-drop of 5K because we know the vanilla 4-drops have like 6K. So he seems a little low. But let's see what he does. So he's a blocker. Blockers are good, but paying 4 for a blocker?
That's exactly what I was just thinking.
I don't know. That's probably my biggest problem with that. But let's read the rest of his skill before I start complaining about him being a blocker. Don times 1, so Papa Don under him. His effect triggers when he blocks. Play 1 red character that's 2 or less cost from your hand. I don't know. So let's focus on the fact that he's a blocker first. So you pay 4 for a blocker.
Yeah.
And he's 5K. So he's really not living anything he blocks.
Yeah.
It's different than when you play like the big blockers that have like 7K, because at least they can live.
Yeah.
But if you're blocking with Jinbei for 5K, he's the same stats as a leader. So they're just going to swing at him. If you give him a Dawn, it doesn't go over to the opponent's turn. So you're paying 5 for him technically.
Yeah.
Because you pay 4 to play him, and then you give him a Dawn, so that's 5. So you're paying 5 for a 5-cost blocker. And then when he blocks, he's going to play a red card that's cost 2 or less. So you also need setup, because you need to have a low drop in hand. So I love Gym Boy, but I don't think this is the card.
Nah. 5 is a lot.
Like, especially in reds, like if I'm paying for a blocker, I just play Chopper.
Yeah.
Just put the 1-drop dropper out there.
I even think, in the blue deck, when you have Boa to even...
Well, yeah, well, remember, blue is a completely different color, so yeah.
Oh, no, I know, but I'm saying, like, when I'm even playing with the starter deck, and I see Boa in my hand, I go, oh, I have to pay 3 to pop Boa on the field. Yeah. I'm even thinking, like, that's a lot to pay 3 to pop Boa on the field.
And also, we keep in mind, if we want to use Gym Boy's effect, we have to pay 5.
Yeah, exactly. That's just what I'm kind of relating it to, because I even think for a blocker, like, paying 3.
Yeah.
I know Boa doesn't have an effect, but...
Well, Boa's a trigger.
Yeah,
so she gets the free pass.
Yeah.
Well, she gets the free pass because she's Boa.
Yeah, exactly. But that's just what I'm saying. So to think to pay 5 at that point, you're kind of like, that's a lot.
And then we think about leaders. So if you're playing starter deck Luffy, he's technically still a 4 cost because you can use his leader skill to cheat the Dawn under him. Mm-hmm. And then, if you're playing Zoro, he's a 6K. But we don't want to attack with him.
Yeah.
He's a blocker, and his effect triggers on block, so you never want to attack with the Jinbei unless you just know you don't have 2 or 1-drop in your hand to play off Jinbei, and if you don't, why are you playing the Jinbei?
Yeah, exactly.
So, we love Jinbei, but I don't think this is his time to shine. Anything else on Jinbei?
Nah, we're good. We're good.
Next we have Choppa. So, we have another anime art, but at least this one's, like, funny. Like, that face is pretty funny.
Yeah. Chopper's always cute.
Chopper is a 3-drop 4K. Styline's fine. I'm kind of okay with 4Ks because you only need to pop 1 under him to make him a 5K, which is attack worthy.
Yeah.
The baseline is 5. He's 5K in Zoro. He has guard. Oh, actually, the Jinbei does not have guard.
Oh.
I didn't notice that.
That's actually a really big deal.
Oh, the Jinbei doesn't even have guard. Okay.
Yeah.
He got slightly worse.
Yeah, that's actually really.
All right, that is not Jinboi's time to shine right there. Right, this Chopper has 1,000 guard. He has Dawn ×1, so slap a Dawn under him. When attacking, trash a card from your hand. Add a Straw Hat card character other than Chopper with a cost of 4 or less from your trash to your hand. Okay, so he's like Uta, but Uta gets it for free, and then he has to attack, and you have to discard to get one back. So you need to set him up, and you need to invest a Dawn in him, and it's not a plus; it's an exchange. How do you feel about that?
It's alright. I don't know. Do you think that could maybe work with Law? Because Law does a lot of swapping in and out.
I don't know if you have time to play this at all.
Yeah.
That's my problem with that.
That's true. I don't, and it's when attacking too.
Yeah, like, so you have to set him up. You don't rush. So you play him, you wait till next turn, and then you swing with him.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say in a static gameplay, like, I don't know of cards you would value so much that you would play this to get them back.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're playing a specific deck that you really want to use the same card multiple times, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. It's okay, right?
It's fine.
Yeah.
And he's an animal. That might come up, right? An animal trait. Moving on. Next we have Nami Swan. Now, I started with this one, but if you've been paying attention to the reveals, this card has a full art, and she looks fantastic.
Yeah, I love the Nami full art.
Right. This card is a chase card if I've ever seen one. Now, I already know her effect, so I also just go, she's a staple. But first, she's a 1-drop, so she's good. And she is 2k. So she automatically has more power than the 1-drop Nami they gave you in the starter deck. She has guard, which is good, so multiple copies in your hand are fine. And she goes, on play, look at top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal 1 Straw Hat type card other than Nami and add it to your hand. Place the remaining on the bottom of the deck in any order. That is a straight plus.
It is. You know, she reminds me a little bit, I keep saying that, but she reminds me a little bit of Bonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Bonnie is like the same effect, except you have to pay more for it.
Yeah.
And tap her.
Yeah. And
Nami's completely free.
Yep.
Does it on play. You don't need to trigger her or anything. And then first thing that pops to mind is, this is Law Turbo.
Yeah.
You play Nami for 1. You get your Straw Hat Plus. You bounce to your hand. You play a 5-drop. And then you play her again next turn. Or you could play her again the same turn and search again. Because not hard once per turn. It's just on play.
Yeah.
Also, it says character type card. So, Jet Pistol is a Straw Hat card. You can search Jet Pistol with this card.
Yeah. The card looks good, the effect's good, and
so first of all, the art's amazing.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's a waifu card. Third of all, it's an amazing effect on a low cost. It's just a staple. You play 4 of it, and thank God that there is a lower rarity of this card. So you can just get, a rare version of it and be like, I have the card to play, but you got to get 4 of the 4. You got to do it.
Yeah.
Start applying for the loan now, and you might be approved by the time the pack comes out. But I think no matter what red deck you play, I think you just play for Nami. Yeah. Because there's just so many Straw Hat cards anyway, that even if you're not playing a Straw Hat deck, you probably have enough in your deck to just facilitate playing this card.
Yeah.
I could go on talking about how good this card is
for a while. For a while. That's.
We won't do that.
We'll move on.
Next is Robin Chuan. Super sad that she doesn't have a full art.
It's really weird to me because they gave.
Super sad.
Yeah.
They gave Sanji one, Zoro, Nami, Chopper, I think, has one for the blocker from the starter deck, and Usopp, I think, has one for the one we read. It's like a promo, though. It's not like in the set. It's weird. But just Robin, for some reason, didn't get one. I don't know. Unless it's still hidden. It's possible.
Maybe.
And we can hope. So the art is, the anime art, so it's fine. She is a 3-drop 4K. I mean, 4K is fine. 5K in Zoro. She has guard. That means you can play a lot of her and not worry about it. Put a Dawn on her when attacking. KO one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That means whenever she swings, if she has a Dawn on her, she's killing a blocker. And when she swings, that's before they can block. So you go attack, proc effect, pop the blocker. Can't even block.
Yeah, they're gone.
You can't let this attack multiple times. That's the thing. Like once she swings once, you have to kill her.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking. You can't let it stay on the board. So she's kind of
She's like a lightning rod.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, you see that thing, you see Robin sideways on the table, you're like, that, gone.
So also she kind of takes up an attack too.
Oh, actually, you restand this with the dual Luffy. That's 2 pops, right? Yeah, there's not once per turn on that.
Yeah.
And that's like, no, it's not an investment because she has to set up anyway, so you wouldn't have to do it in the same turn. So you pay her for 3, next turn rolls around, you put a Dawn under her, you swing, you pop, then you go Loof, restand the Straw Hat Crew, swing again, pop a second card.
That's actually really good with Luffy.
That's probably nice value. And then in Zoro, she's a 5K. No, actually in Zoro, she's a 6K because you use her skill, you give her a Dawn. So she's actually a 6K.
Yeah.
I like the 4,000 attack stat on an effect that gives a Dawn because then it just makes them 5K.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of makes up for it.
Because when are you not putting a Dawn underneath her for her effect, right?
But it's like whenever you see a character with Dawn times 1 with an effect, you're just like, oh, okay, so I just add 1,000 to its power. So that's probably why a lot of these are like 4Ks.
Yeah, I think Robin's gonna be a really good card.
Alright, anything else on Robin?
No, we're good. We are good.
Robin's a good card. Next we have the big boy Hydrogen. Probably didn't say that right. He's a big boy, but he's a vanilla, so we're just going to talk about the art. It's not, anime art. It's nice, I guess, original art, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
He's just doing his megaton punch. New giant warrior pirates and giants. That could be interesting later on, I guess. Next up is the boy Bartolomeo.
Oh, the art looks really good on this.
Very good art.
Yeah, this looks really nice.
Yeah, he's got good lighting, everything. Like he's clean right here. So he's a 2-drop 2K. It's fine. It's fine stat line. Yeah, he has counter. That's good. He's a blocker, and he has a Dawn times 2 skill that says during your opponent's turn, he will gain 3,000 power. So that means on the opponent's turn, he will be a 5K. Now, thanks to Jinbei, we already talked about 5K blockers, so it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah. And if you have to put the 2 Dawn on her, then he becomes 4.
Yeah, he's a 4 cost.
Yeah, he's a 4 cost.
He's a 4 cost investment for a 5K blocker. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather just play him as a 2-drop blocker and just let him die, because he's going to die anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
his Dawn skill...
His effect is... Yeah.
His Dawn skill is just kind of there.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you would ever use that. You'd be like, I'll pay 2, put a blocker. And just leave it at that. Like, because, like, Black Maria and Purple's a 2 blocker, and she's fine.
Yeah.
He's a supernova. That's important.
I like the Barto Club, too.
Yeah, his crew name is on there, the Barto Club. But him being a supernova is probably important for some combo. Can't think of any super usefulness with the leaders in mind. I mean, with the starter deck Luffy, you get it for 1 Dawn cheaper, but it's still not worth it. No, it's not great. But yeah, I think if you play this card, you play him for a 2-drop blocker and nothing else.
Alright, let's move on.
Moving on. We have Old Man Hyogyoru. The art is nice. It's not anime art. It's not just cropped in there. It's fine. Good.
Yeah.
So our old man here, looking pretty clean. Anything to say about the old man?
Yeah, he looks fine. Like you said, I really like the art. It looks really nice. I like it when they don't use. I mean, the anime art is fine, but I do like it when they do change up the art because when you watch the anime, you see it all the time, right? So it's really nice.
Yeah,
when
it gives you that nice feeling of they put in the effort.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it looks really nice. I really love it when they use different art.
Well, he's a 2-drop 3K. It's fine stat line. He has guard 1000, pretty good. Activate main, so he's activate not on play. You may rest this character. Your leader or one of your characters gains 2k power during the turn. Well, you can activate him the same turn he's played.
Yeah.
So technically, by paying 2 to play him, you can give anything 2k power. My first problem is, immediately after you do that, he's just gonna get killed because you have to rest him. And you swing anything into him, and I doubt you're guarding him, so he's just gonna die. I mean, he'll absorb an attack, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's okay.
I don't know. I'd almost rather just play Otama.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like, he's giving 2k to something, she's negging 2k to something. The only time that there's a difference in that is if you're attacking leader, because you can't neg the leader. I don't think. No, there's no way you can neg the leader.
No.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like so-so, I think. I can't think of anything I would really play him in that I just wouldn't play Otama.
Yeah.
He's a Wano card that's probably relevant because there's a lot of Wano cards in the set. Anything else on Old Man Hyogyoru?
Oh, he's good to go.
Oh, I see my boy Frankie. Sadly, this Frankie has the anime art. We need full art, General Frankie.
Yeah. I'm really Robin didn't get a full art and Frankie did. Well, that we know of, yeah.
Oh no, wait. I remember the General Frankie card was an early leak.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, that might be the full art for this card.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We need to wait for someone to pull that. That might be the full art. I remember seeing that card. It's probably for this 3-drop. First thing I notice is this Frankie doesn't have guard though. So that's usually kind of. But he's a 3-drop 4K. That's a fine stat line. 5K is worth. Oh, he's Dawn times 1, so he's technically a 5K. So he's good. He says he can attack characters that are active. He gets around the rested rule.
That's really cool.
That's pretty nice. I haven't seen another card that does that.
That's really cool.
So he doesn't care if you're rested or not. He can still swing at you. So if they're trying to protect some guy like Sentomaru, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't attack with him because they don't want you to attack him. Frankie's like, whatever, I'll run him over anyway.
And think about it, because you have the Dawn, so that makes
He's a 5K. Yeah.
And then if you had Zoro.
Yeah, Zoro, he's a 6K.
Okay. And then that's just a 6K that can just attack.
So he's swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Frankie's pretty good. Probably not like a 4
No.
because he doesn't have guard and he's not, super good, but I would probably mess around and see put like 2 in a deck and just see how he does.
Yeah.
How often the ability to do that just comes up. You'd be like, oh, that's pretty nice. Because let's say your opponent plays a card that doesn't have rush, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So you play out Frankie first, and then they play out their card inactive, and you're like, all right, they're gonna have to wait till next turn, so I can't swing at it. And you're like, no, Frankie can swing now.
Yeah.
So they don't get a chance to attack. There's potential. Plus, Frankie's the boy. So I'm hoping for that full art though. Well, since I remember the General Frankie, like, we need that Robin. That Robin needs to be somewhere.
Yeah.
She's hiding. Alright, now we're moving on to Brooke. So we'll go ahead and click on that.
Yep.
So it seems we got another anime shot, but at least it's a nice pose.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about it?
Yeah.
It's anime art.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so our boy Brooke is a 4-drop 5K. I mean, 5K is nice.
Yeah.
5K base is nice. He has 1000 guard. Good. With a Dawn skill, so he's technically a 6K. 7K in the row. Says when attacking, give 2 of your opponent's characters minus 2000 power during the turn. So just like Otama, Brooke has potential.
Yeah.
So if you swing with Brooke, it makes Jet Pistol kill something with 8K. Otama and Brooke work with Robin.
Oh.
Robin says 3K or less. So if you Otama and then swing with Robin, or Brooke, instead of Otama, Robin could kill any 5K or less, which is a lot of things. And it, God forbid you have like multiple negs. Robin can just clean up like anything.
Yeah.
So I think Brooke has potential specifically for Robin. The only problem being, I think they're both 4 drops, or is Robin a 3 drop? I have to go back and check. But like, setting them up together would probably be a little bit difficult. Whereas Otama's literally a 1 drop that you can just hold and just be like, all right, I set up the Robin. Oh, she lived. All right, 1 drop Otama, swing with Robin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is potential here. Neg 2000 is good. Anything else about Brooke?
Nope. I think that about handles that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's good.
All right, next we have the original Vitamin C Pineapple Head, Marco. They kind of did him dirty because they made him a vanilla.
Yeah, I feel...
Marco's cracked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marco's cracked.
I feel that, yeah. The art on the picture, too.
It's anime art, yeah. They juiced him on that, too.
It's just, whatever.
Yeah, that's it. Because the other vanillas had nice art, but they were vanillas, right?
Yeah.
Marco he's a vanilla and has anime art. Like, I don't even know why he's in here.
Exactly.
Like, because even look at his trait, it says former Whitebeard Pirates. He's not even a Whitebeard Pirate, he's former Whitebeard Pirate.
He's just kind of holding his hand up.
There's like, this card, it should just have a giant stamp that says filler card inset. Right there, Marco. This card has no business being in here.
Yeah, I feel bad for Marco.
And they're just like, oh, we need another 3-drop red vanilla Marco.
Yeah, he was in the Wano arc. We'll just throw him in there.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't do anything.
Dang.
Or he's not important in the Wano arc, so we'll make him a vanilla. Poor Marco.
Yeah, but that's really all there is to say about it.
Hopefully our Pineapple Head gets some love later on. Next up is our first super rare. Yeah. So this Loof is the first super rare we're going to talk about, who also has an alt art. First of all, this art looks good.
Yeah, it does.
It's technically anime art, but it's full art, and it's just like on the card very nicely.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at this art.
Oh, that looks...
You look at this art, and that screams, shut up and take my money.
Oh, that looks so nice.
That in hollow is going to be insane.
It looks so good. I really like, too, how on the side here they didn't leave...
Yeah, they didn't even put the border on the counter. They just, like, they did the little highlight, and that's it.
Yeah, that...
They're like, oh, we're not getting in the way of this.
It looks really good. Alright, what about this effect? I see he's a 2.
Yeah, he is a 2-drop 3K. It's fine stats. He has guard. That's good.
Yeah.
So you can slap a playset in your deck, no big deal. Oh, he's the character that has to do with the traits. So he says if there's 2 down under him, he cannot be killed by battling a strike character.
Huh.
So because he's made of rubber, he can't be killed by a strike character.
That's cool.
And then his activate main is once per turn, give this character up to 2 rest and taunt cards. So he pays for himself.
I mean...
So he pays for himself. So he turns his own effect on, and that effect makes him a 5K.
Wow.
So he's a 2-drop 5K. And, I mean, if you can't kill him with a strike character, that's just kind of an added bonus. Like, alright.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because he's a strike character as well.
So, like, he can't kill himself. Yeah. We can't have mirrors going on.
It's nice that he pays for himself, though.
Yeah, he's cheap.
He's cheap.
Yeah, he has a lot of power because he pays for himself, and he's 6K Zoro.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking...
He's just a strong 2-drop.
Yeah, this is very strong.
Especially considering the vanilla 2-drops are 4Ks, and he is a 2-drop 3K, which becomes a 5K for free, pretty much. So he's bigger than a vanilla stat, and he's not a vanilla.
And he has nice art, too.
And he's nice to look at.
Yeah.
He's not like a very complicated card. It's just like he just seems very efficient and like a good card you want to play in your deck.
Yeah, I think the same thing.
Next up is our next super rare, which is the next boy Zoro. His anime art is fine. He's just looking at you, but his full art, it's there. It's definitely there because look at that.
Oh my goodness, that looks sick.
His full art is in there to be there. And he has a single line of text. He has rush.
He has,
rush. That's what he does. He has rush.
A 3.
He is a 3-drop 5K with rush. And if you remember, I think Cavendish was a 4-drop 4K that you had to pay for to get rush.
Yeah,
This card is infinitely better than the Cavendish. The only reason you play Cavendish is if you want like 8 copies of this card. And even then, it's just still not as good. This card's a 6K in the Zoro leader. In the Law deck, he just he just swaps out of nowhere, and he can attack, or you can play him for 3, swing with him, and then swap him.
I really like the art on this card. I like the art on both of those cards.
Super rares are looking really good.
Yeah. That effect is just good too.
I'm a rusher.
Yeah.
I'm turning sideways.
Yeah.
What do you do? I turn sideways.
I attack. But that sounds like Zoro.
Yeah.
I turn sideways, I attack.
But I mean, other than that, I don't think there's much. Oh, well, he doesn't have guard. I guess that's worth mentioning. But I mean, he's a rusher, so you just throw him on the field anyway. You're like, why am I keeping this in my hand? Swing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, other than that, anything else about Zoro? Like, he's just really good.
Yeah, he's just good.
Solid card.
Solid.
Alright, we've got Gum Gum Red Hawk. This is a 2-cost counter event. Looking at the art, we see the Luffy pretty much punching Hody in the dick.
Looks really good. I love the manga art. Looks so clean.
Yeah, I like that they decided to color the manga art. It's nice. I like it more than just the little anime clips that they did. Let's see here. It says your leader or one of your characters gains 4,000 power during the battle, and then you get to KO one of your opponent's characters with a power of 4,000 or less. So this actually kills a character during the opponent's turn during their attack. How do you feel about that?
It's really good.
You know, like there's a lot of uses for this, especially if you use it early game where things are smaller.
Yeah.
What do we got? We got the 2-drop Luffy we just talked about. That would die immediately if it didn't have the 2 Dawn under it.
I mean, the trigger's really good on it too.
Yeah, for the trigger, it says your opponent's leader or one of their characters loses 10,000 power. So you pretty much use that to stop any one attack from happening.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Like, it's just not hitting.
I think it's a good event card.
I think it's very solid.
Yeah, it's a very solid card. Alright.
Moving on?
Yep, moving on.
Next up, we have the Round Table. We got Cavendish doing one of his attacks on the art. So 4 costs. It's not a counter. It doesn't have a trigger. It just says main. One of your opponent's characters gets minus 10,000 power during the turn.
I mean, that's pretty. It's pretty good too.
So it is 4 costs, but there is a specific scenario in mind that I have for the usefulness of this card. And I'm thinking Kaido.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Or any really big guy. So all of those big guys don't have removal because all the removal is around attack points or your cost. And the Kaido cards are 9-drop and 10-drop.
Yeah. And
they have like 10,000 power and build-out value. So if you play this, you actually have a chance to kill it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
But other than that, if they don't have just a really big card on the field, this is kind of bad.
Yeah.
Because then you're paying 4 to drop a guy to 0 and then kill it.
Yeah. It's like...
It has a use.
A use.
From what I can tell. Like, that is what you would use that card for, I think. Oh, they have a big guy. Minus it, then kill it. And I guess it's a Supernova card.
Yeah, that too.
So it's like sort of searchable. Can Bonnie search event cards?
Yes, she just specifically if it's just a Supernova card, she can search it.
And she may be a green card, but there is red-green leaders, so maybe it's a thing. Not great, but not terrible. Oh, this is a 1-drop. This is a Green Star Rafflesia, so it's an Usopp attack.
Ooh.
It is a counter. It says, give your opponent's leader or character minus 2,000 power during this turn. And it is a trigger that activates the counter effect.
The trigger, I think, is good.
Oh, it's a one cost.
Yeah. I'm also thinking back to the little dumpling girl. Because she does...
Yeah, but where you could combo that with cards...
Yeah.
You can't really combo this because this is going to be during your opponent's turn.
Oh, okay.
And it's a counter card. But
Counter right.
looking at this, it says minus 2,000 for the turn, not during the battle. Which is something that a lot of cards don't say. So that means you can lower a re-standard 2,000 and it would technically last if they restand it. So that's interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
Most things just say battle, for the battle. But if you neg, like, it says leader or character, so let's say you neg the kid leader by 2k, it would last if it restanded. So that's interesting to think about, I guess.
Yeah.
But for one cost, I mean, how much do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
And the art of just like Cody holding his nose from the flowers.
Yeah, I love the manga art ones.
It looks like, you know, he who smelt it dealt it. Oh, the next one is my boy Frankie doing the radical beam. Now, this is also a one cost, and he is just blowing up that octopus fish man. Oh no, he's the squid fish man. It is a counter. It says your leader or one of your characters gain 2,000 power, but then if you have 2 or less life, they gain an additional 2,000 power. So if you're almost dead.
Oh, okay.
So if you have like less than half your life, it's a 1 cost that gives you plus 4k.
Okay.
So early game it's a 2k, late game it's a 4k.
Okay.
And then if
That's
you're
interesting.
playing a dual leader, you get to 2 faster.
Yeah.
So this becomes a 4k.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And
That
then
this would be good for.
And then it has a
Would be
trigger
good
that
for.
your leader or one of your characters gain 1,000. That's the same as guard point. This card is pretty much just a better guard point.
Yeah.
Thing. You would just play this instead of guard point. And then that trigger, like, it like never comes up. It might as well just say add this card to your hand. Yeah, I think this card's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
pretty
efficient.
solid.
It's efficient. All right, moving to the next page.
All right, what we got?
All right, so we have the 2 years to Saboti. This is a very important card. It's a 1-drop. It says, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal 1 Straw Hat type character card, and add it to your hand and place the remaining on the bottom. And then the trigger is to just activate the card. So this is consistency.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty on point that you just play this card.
And I really love the art on this card.
Where you get to see all of them working hard for the time skip to happen.
Can we just look at Frankie's face?
The man had a bad day. But, yeah, this is a good card.
Yeah, it is.
You would definitely play this card in a Straw Hat deck, or just pretty much a red deck, because you're probably going to play so many Straw Hat cards. Is it a 4-of? Maybe. It's good, but you don't want to brick on it, obviously.
Yeah. And the trigger is good too, that you just activate it.
It really depends on the space when you're building the deck.
Yeah.
If you have enough space to play 4, I think you just play 4. But if you're trying just to make room for 4, I don't know if that's correct. Because Nami does the same thing. She's just better. Because she has guard, this doesn't have guard. She has board presence, this doesn't have board presence. And she can search events, and this can't. So it really depends on if you want to play a full 8 set, and if you don't want to play a full 8 set, you definitely play 4 Nami, and then whatever is left of this card. That seems to be the end of the events, but I don't see the secret rares. Because Shanks should be a red card. So I don't know where he's at. Let me check red, so I suppose he would be the last red card.
Yes.
Let me click on red, because he is the red secret rare. So where is he? Oh, there he is, right here.
There he is.
Alright. So here we have the secret rare of the set, which is Big Daddy Shanks.
That picture, that art.
That is the art that makes you feel, I want to play this game.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a card? I want to play this game.
That looks so sick. I absolutely love that. It looks so good. This compared to Kaido's art on his, I don't know if they're probably gonna make a full art, I would assume, for his 9-drop too.
Oh, the one from the start.
Yeah. That's who I'm talking about, because that's,
No. It might.
Do you think?
I think they're doing one for the 10 drop that comes in the set, which is a super rare.
Oh, okay. Okay, so they're doing one for
I think they're doing one for that one.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure Kaido does get a full art.
Okay.
But just speaking on the Shanks art, like that art is fantastic, and he does have an old art. I did see it. I don't think there's a picture of it on the site, but I did see it, and it is the manga art.
Oh.
So there's a manga version art of this card.
Is the manga art like full version?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this big boy is your big boss baddie. He's the boogeyman of Red. He's 9 drop. He has 10,000 power. You are not removing him. You have to step over him, which is what that the event card with Cavendish, the round table, is what I think. That's what that card is for. It's for these big guys. And he has rush. He comes out. He's 10k. He's swinging.
He's really solid.
And then he has an attacking skill. Your opponent cannot activate blocker with a character that has 2,000 or less power, and you don't need a Dawn under him or anything. He just swings, and your opponent cannot chump block. He is a threat.
I mean, he's the big guy for Red. Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, he looks like he warrants a secret rare with that art alone, let alone the effect.
I love it. It looks so clean. I can't wait to see that in the holo.
Yeah, the holo's gonna look really nice.
It's gonna look so good.
But yeah, I think that should take care of the red cards from the set. These over here are promos, which we'll probably do another video for.
Okay.
So we've been going a pretty long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, good thing I knew about the Shanks beforehand, because it just wasn't on that last list. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, tell us how we did. Go ahead and leave a like for us, and if you lasted this long, thank you for watching or listening to the whole thing. I figured it would be more of a listening thing at that point.
Thank you so much.
And we will check you out on the next time you come and see the crew.
Yeah, come on the ship with us.